All right, so let's move ahead to chapter 4, which is the end of the first section of the book dealing with relationships. And this is something that, again, we rarely hear spoken of from the pulpit, and that is friendships, biblical friendship. So what in the world are you talking about in this chapter?
Well, I'll start just by making a confession. There are 12 chapters in this book, all dealing with different areas, and there's only one of them that I had not given any serious thought before season 3 of the podcast, and that is friendship. It just doesn't seem that important to us these days, but in ancient times, it was far more important, and I would argue that it should be similarly important to us, that friendships are some of the most important relationships in our lives, and they can be not only so enjoyable, but so edifying. And I lean heavily on C.S. Lewis's brilliant work on friendship in The Four Loves, which, by the way, that book proved to be an invaluable resource in writing this book. I would suggest that anyone read it. It's one of the most cited books in this book. So I can't recommend it enough. So yes, I talk about friendship, tell some stories about friends in the Bible, and some that went really well, some that went really poorly, but I linger the longest on David and Jonathan, which is just such a beautiful story that is woven throughout 1st and 2nd Samuel. And I let that close the chapter as a beautiful representation of godly friendship. And those are the kinds of friendships that we can have if we will only adhere to the biblical testimony on friendship.
Yeah, and this is one of those chapters where probably on the surface, many people would say, I can't think of a verse right off that talks about friendship. Mm-hmm. Do this to your friends. I mean, yeah, there is a man should lay down his life for his friends. That's in there. Mm-hmm. But once you get beyond that, there's just not a lot of daily instruction. And you have taken, as you say, some of the examples out of the Bible and gleaned the principles that do apply. And this is a very, very important chapter in my view, because outside of family, the people that we surround ourselves with have a huge influence on our lives, mm-hmm. and we on theirs. And so choosing your friends and interacting with them in a biblically foundational way is very critical.
Yes, and many people are rightly very choosy when it comes to who they're going to marry. I think that after reading this chapter, you will see that Paul in particular would have us be equally choosy with our friends. As you said, who we surround ourselves with is of such great importance, especially when things start going wrong. When your friendships get stress tested, you will find out if you made a good choice or not, and you certainly want to have made a good choice. I mean, look at Job and his friends. Now, we know that Job was a very righteous man, but his friendships got a little complicated when everything went wrong for him, right? And so I do talk about that story and the lessons about friendship that we can learn from it.